Well, those are the challenges of getting messages across. It can be pretty challenging, and sometimes some people say you employ all the mediums, all the media that you know, and it turns out that people still did not get the message because they did not even look, or maybe there was no way they could get access to it. But that is not even the issue. The issue now is when you say that a lot of politicians did not even know how this was going to affect them.
Yes.
And now that they know, I think one set of politicians we comfortably can call were the senators who were curious. They felt very strongly as to how INec was going to conduct these elections, and they summoned him to brief them.
Yes, I remember.
I think that after that, if we were to go by the reactions that we got from them, it would seem that there was some amount of confidence in the Electoral Commission and even the commissioner, the INec chairman, after that briefing at the Senate.
Yes.
What exactly is changing again?
No, what I think happened, even with the case of the senators, you see, it's like when you have issues stacked on each other, or you have problems, you know, and they're all on top of each other. You tend to take the one on the top first, before you see what is below, and you keep walking downwards. So like you rightly said, at that time, what I think was the focus of most politicians
at that time
was the PVC.
Just a moment. At that time, we're talking about after the elections had been postponed.
Yes.
Remember that there was the controversy as to whether or not INec was truly ready for these elections.
Yes.
And as to whether or not it was just looking at the security agencies as a scapegoat.
Yes.
But when the INec chairman appeared before the senators, he did admit that the 6-week extension was actually
a blessing in disguise.
A blessing in disguise.
Fantastic.
So now it would seem that what INec is up to is confidence building. The mock was conducted also in Delta State, I'm sure.
Fantastic.
Did you monitor what was happening there?
Of course. Of course. You mean with the mock trial?
Yes.
Yes. It was basically the same everywhere. I thought, you see, like, remember when we did our WAEC, okay, maybe not your generation, many years ago, we used to have, just before WAEC, we used to have what we called a mock exams, right? Okay, fine. And what that did was, it was, you know, give you an idea, both in terms of the setting of the environment and the questions of how your exams will be. What we had cannot really be said to be a mock, because the conditions are totally different from what you will see on the 28th.
What are the conditions you're expecting? Because
many more people.
You've been talking about thousands of people at polling units, but we do know, from if we're to go with what INec is saying, they're saying that they're not expecting that more than one card reader would accredit more than 500 people.
Okay.
They expect that if there are more than 500 people at a polling unit, that particular polling unit should have at least 2 card readers, maybe with a backup.
Okay.
So as we go on, is it that we're blocking our minds to some of the things that INec is putting in place to ensure that it works?
I think these are all part of the problems. We don't even know, like, for instance, there was a time when it was said that there were not even enough card readers. So those are the issues that are coming up. And that's why I said this should have happened 2 years ago. So by now, INec will tell us how many card readers they have available, how many card readers are to be deployed to each polling booth, depending on the number of accredited voters in those booths, and all that. And then we'll be ready for the elections. Everything will be there. But if a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or the other time the election came up on us and we didn't even realize what was going on, if that postponement didn't come, all we are talking now, we have been talking it in retrospect, and you caught us napping that way, how are people going to react to that?
In that case, then, I mean,
you know,
is your party ready for this election?
Definitely. The PDP has been ready for the elections a year ago, as far as I'm concerned. And I think the issue is not the PDP or even the APC, as it were, because I think they have done well as well. For the first time, we're seeing an opposition party, you know, that, you know, has some muscle, and I think it's good for democracy. The issue, I think, is the preparedness of the umpire.
Are you aware that some people feel very strongly? Are you aware that some people feel very strongly that these elections will never hold?
No. I think that their mind should be totally disabused. You see, that's the thing about Nigerians. What else do they want to? Who do they want to talk on it?
Because
the president has spoken on this how many times? That these elections will certainly hold on the 28th, you know, and all that. But all I think he, as much as the opposition and everybody wants, is that we have a situation that we can have free, credible elections and we can say we conducted something better than what we conducted in 2011.
How can it be better than what we conducted in the last election if politicians are saying we shouldn't use a process? Because I'm getting a bit confused as to technology, technological advancement that we abhor now, so to speak. Because if the card reader were to be an issue, I still believe that if the PDP, as you said, had been ready a year ago, then this should have been an issue. We have seen elections. We have covered elections in this country. Personally, have covered elections. We've seen what people have done, how people have reported cases, you know, of ballot snatching.
Yes, and all that.
And even in the full glare of some security agencies.
Yes.
So if we have a process that can tell you that if you're not a valid voter, definitely your vote cannot even go through the next process.
Wonderful.
So why is it that...
is not a problem.
Don't you think that the issue should have been...
You said politicians. Am I to that purpose? Am I not a politician? Don't I come within that definition?
Absolutely.
Okay, fine. And I'm saying to you, fantastic. That is the way to go. We're in the 21st century. You can conduct elections like you conducted when Awolowo and Zik were in Nigeria and what you want to do today. But all we are saying is that while deploying this technology, you must carry the people along. You can't deploy the technology and the people do not understand the technology. In that case, you are bringing about even more confusion.
They don't need the
That's
understanding.
all I'm saying.
They just need to be present there.
Yes. And what if the technology starts to malfunction and cause for the process not to work smoothly?
That's why
that is the issue.
That mock accreditation took place over the weekend.
Yes.
And INec will have that meeting tomorrow.
Yes.
So when they have that meeting and come up with their findings, won't it put paid?
Let us listen to them. Let us listen to them, because all eyes are on INec as far as I'm concerned. And like I keep saying, it is INec as an institution. I think we should move away from that narrative of personalizing things, you know, and that is one of the things I think we have to get right in Nigeria, realizing that we have to build our institutions and leave people. We don't need strong men, as they say. We need strong institutions.
Because it will be very hard for anyone to believe that this is not about something fishy on election day.
But you see,
knowing full well that leading up to this election, we've had cases of people already, you know, being arrested with voter cards.
Yes.
And of course, stories of people buying up voter cards. And well, the lady who was here from Abia State did also tell us how some people have been spoken to concerning issues like this. Because if we have this card reader, whether or not you go to the market to buy 500 or 1 million voter card, it amounts to nothing, because you alone as an individual can't come and do the accreditation with your thumb.
Yes, because of the biometrics.
Because of the biometrics.
Wonderful. Wonderful. But all we are saying is that let that card reader function properly and let the people understand that this and this is the use of the card reader. Finish. So that you can be time efficient. Because you see, my own issue is the time management of the mass of people you will have on that day. And that's why I still insist that the conditions present at the last mock trials is not going to be anything like what you are going to see.
But the INec chairman was also asked that question.
Yes.
I mean, I think that if people have watched that meeting with the senators, which was aired live on some stations, INec chairman covered a slew of questions. They asked him, so what if it takes forever and ever? He says, if we have to go into the following day, we will go into the following day, but we will use the card readers.
But what does the Electoral Act says about things like that? You see, these are the issues.
I do not, Mr. Ogear, I'm sure that
I'm a lawyer.
Just a moment, sir. I'm sure that the INec chairman knows what the Electoral Act says, and I'm sure that there is some provision if you're not able to vote on a particular day, that you're able to vote the following day. I think that there are provisions like that, and that's why we will have by-elections and things like that. But he is insisting that these card readers will definitely make the elections better. According to him, they believe
I
that
think so.
They have
I
a mandate.
personally think so.
You personally believe that?
Yes,
but why are we then
done
coming
properly.
why are we then coming up with all sorts of assumptions, which is quite healthy? But we seem to believe that this is going to be the majority of the case on that day, that these card readers, in most major instances, will not work.
Yeah, because of what we've seen.
What did you see in Delta State?
In Delta State, even the REC, the Resident Electoral Commissioner in Delta State, actually came to the executive chambers sometime last week and did a mock thing for us, the commissioners and the advisors and all that. It was okay, you know, just a few people, you know, thumb printed and biometrics came out and all that. You know, I was sitting next to a colleague of mine who did it. And it looked okay, you see, but like I said, when you sit down and do these armchair presentations.
That was on one hand.
Yes.
I'm asking about the mock conducted in Delta State.
The mock, which was even in Asaba.
Yes, which was one of the 12 states.
That's right. And I am telling you that there were also issues there.
Yes, but what was the percentage of issues? I think that's one of the things we can deal
I don't
with.
know, because number one, the voter turnout was quite low. You see, so that's why you can't really get a true picture of this.
We can do a figure. I mean,
yeah,
if we say 20 people turned out, of the 20 who turned out, 5 had issues or it took forever to
accredit. I don't have that statistics.
I
don't have that statistics, but I know that there were issues like everywhere else. It was comme ci, comme ça. And I'm just thinking that we shouldn't be in a situation now where the card readers and every other process, especially technological process that intends to be deployed for this election, should still even have, we should be talking about 1% error margins now.